It's 3:47 a.m., the house is dead silent, but your brain is screaming, you're doing the math again. If the car breaks down tomorrow, that's $600 you don't have. If your boss calls you into the office on Friday with bad news, you have exactly 14 days of survival money. If your tooth starts aching, you don't call a dentist, you pray it goes away. This isn't just being broke, this is biological warfare. Your body is flooded with cortisol. You are in fight or flight mode 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You aren't living. You are surviving in a cage made of invisible bars. Or what if I told you there is a key to that cage? It's not $1 million, it's not winning the lottery. It is a specific, boring, unsexy number that neuroscientists and economists agree effectively hacks your brain and rewires your reality. Once you hit this specific number, the anxiety stops, the desperate decisions stop, you literally sleep deeper. Today we aren't talking about getting rich, we are talking about buying your freedom. We are talking about the first $10,000. Let's get raw for a second. When you have $0 in savings, you are walking through life naked in a war zone. Every minor inconvenience is a catastrophe. A flat tire isn't just an annoyance. It is a tragedy that forces you to choose between fixing your car to get to work or buying groceries. This is what psychologists call the scarcity mindset. When you are trapped here, your IQ actually drops. Studies show that financial stress consumes so much cognitive bandwidth that you literally make dumber decisions. You buy the cheap boots that break in a month because you can afford the good ones that last a year. It's expensive to be poor. But then you hit $10,000. This is the safety shield. Suddenly a $500 car repair is just an inconvenience. You swipe the card, you fix the car, you move on, you don't lose sleep, you don't have to beg your parents for a loan. Do you understand the power of that? You just bought back your dignity. For the first time in your life, you are playing offense, not defense. Here is the secret that wealthy people know but never tell you. The first 10 grand is the ultimate negotiation tool. Imagine your boss is toxic. They yell, they demand unpaid overtime, they disrespect you. If you have $0 in the bank, you take it. You smile, you nod, and you die a little inside because you need that paycheck next Friday, or you're homeless. You are a hostage. Now imagine that same scenario, but you have $10,000 sitting in a high-yield savings account. When that boss yells, you don't panic. You look them in the eye. You realize, I could quit today and be fine for 4 months. You probably won't quit, but that energy, people feel it. It's called walk-away power. When you aren't desperate, you negotiate better salaries. You speak up in meetings. Paradoxically, having the money to quit often leads to you making more money because the world respects people who respect themselves. Financial security is the most attractive perfume you can wear. There is a phenomenon called decision fatigue. When you're broke, you make 50 survival decisions a day. Can I afford extra guac? Should I take the toll road? It's exhausting. When you have the $10,000 anchor, those questions vanish. You get your brain back. Instead of worrying about a $10 lunch, you start thinking about a $2,000 investment. You see a certification course that costs $1,500 but could raise your salary by $20,000. The broke person says, I can't afford that. The person with the shield says, that's an investment with a 10x return, and they write the check. This is why the rich get richer, not because they are smarter, but because they have the safety net that allows them to take calculated risks. The first 10K buys you a seat at the table where the real game is played. Now I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sell you a crypto scam. Getting to the first $10,000 is hell. It is the hardest money you will ever save. The first 1,000 feels impossible. The universe will test you. The car will break down the moment you save your first 500. You have to change who you are. Most people try to save by dieting. They cut everything for a month, get miserable, and quit. You need an identity shift. You are no longer a consumer, you are a builder. You have to look at your friends going out to that $100 dinner and have the strength to say no, not because you're broke, but because you are building your armor. But here is the beautiful news. Going from 0 to 10,000 takes blood, sweat, and tears. But going from 10,000 to 20,000, that's easier, and 20 to 100. That's inevitable. The math is on your side. Once you have that pile of cash, compound interest starts working for you instead of against you. Listen to me closely. They want you broke. A broke population is easy to control. A broke employee is obedient. A broke consumer is addicted to debt. Saving your first $10,000 is an act of rebellion. It is you looking at the system and saying, I am not your slave anymore. It doesn't matter if you can only save $50 this month. Start. Sell the junk in your garage. Cancel the streaming services you don't watch. Pick up the extra shift. Do not stop until you see that comma in your bank account. Because once you hit $10,000, you aren't just looking at a number on a screen, you are looking at a better version of yourself. If you are ready to start this war and reclaim your freedom, hit that like button to let the algorithm know you're serious, and subscribe because we are going to build this wealth together. Go. Check your bank account, then get to work.